Virginia's the real deal if they're healthy. I think they might have gotten a couple guys a little banged up there towards the end of the game or whatever. But I thought on film that it's the best Virginia team that I've seen at least since Tony's been there, and he would be a much better opinion on that than me. But defensively they just don't have any weaknesses and make it very difficult for you. And I thought we were a little intimidated in the first half, which really honestly kind of surprised me, because we've not shown that so much. I don't think. I mean, we've been beaten soundly, but a few times, but I haven't felt like we were necessarily intimidated. I thought we were a little intimidated in the first half. Missed some layups and missed some stuff right around the goal there, but you don't get many good shots against them. And then what happens is when you get a good one, then you rush it because you're thinking, gosh, I don't get many of these. I better get this one. Try to get this one in the goal, and then you rush yourself. And but their defense is just phenomenal. It just is. There's nothing that you can really say, and you can try different things to get things to work. I thought we were a little better in the second half. I thought our pace was a little better. We were able to jump up and make some shots, but you have to make shots against them, and that's hard because they're great on that end.
What did you tell your team at halftime?
Told them I was disappointed because I thought that we were. I thought we had like a deer in the headlights look in the first half, and I didn't anticipate that. I hadn't seen that. I hadn't felt that. I didn't think that. Gosh, if anything, we don't have anything to lose. We should just throw caution to the wind and play, and that's what I told him yesterday, and that was the message before the game, and obviously it didn't help and it didn't work. So, but like I said, we played a little better in the second half.
Knowing how Virginia plays defense, Kevin, and how you guys have struggled sometimes offensively this season, going into this game, what did you think was a realistic possibility for your team to do offensively, and was what happened in the first half about what you thought might have been the worst case?
Well, yeah, I didn't think the worst half was, or the first half was. I didn't see that coming. I didn't even think that could be the worst case. I thought at least we'd be better than that in the worst case. But they just don't have any weaknesses, and so really what it comes down to beat them, and not very many people have experienced this year against them, but you have to make shots, and you probably have to have somebody that can create and get to the lane that just has that kind of quickness to where they, as good as they are, you've got that quickness factor against them. We don't have it, but anyway, it's hard to get them inside. They trap you, and they rotate great out of it. And we tried to induce the trap a couple of times to beat them on it, and they didn't trap, and so they're an experienced group. They know they know what you're trying to do to them, and he's a great coach. He's done an amazing job there, and just an amazing job. And their team this year is amazing, I think.
Anything else?
Coach, you have a lot of fans in Columbus who are not only disappointed in the performance today, but throughout the entire season. If you have anything to say, what do you have to say to the fans and the alumnus?
I appreciate the fans that have come out and supported this team, and I share in the disappointment in the way some of the things have gone, particularly the record for sure. And I'm not disappointed in the attitudes and the coachability and the effort of our players. I feel like our players have given us what they have to give. and so, you know, I share in some of that disappointment, but certainly appreciate the people that have come out and been loyal and faithful to support this team.
Obviously, that's a particularly tough way to end your home slate in any season. But just how far off, I guess, results-wise, has this conference play been for you, you know, going into it as opposed to where it is now?
Well, going into it, we thought we were going to have our best player and the guy that's been through this a little bit. And you know, you go back to the last, well, the highly ranked team that we played with him. You know, West Virginia comes in here and with 3 minutes to play, it's a 2-point game. Okay, and so then we lose him for the rest. You know, we didn't know it was going to be for the rest of the season, but we ended up losing Ryan for the rest of the season. I didn't have you know, I kept expecting Ryan to come back, and then when it became obvious that he wasn't coming back, then I didn't have expectations because I didn't know how this team would be able to navigate without, you know, one guy that had have any semblance of experience through this league, and so we had some chances. You know, we certainly had a chance in here against NC State. That, you know, we had a chance against Wake the other night. We had a chance down at Miami. We had some chances, and didn't get them done. It's not where we want to be. It's not where we're going to be. But I knew when I took the job that this was going to be a hard year. I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I didn't know that some of the dynamics that played out would play out the way they did. But we'll be okay. It's not. I mean, we're not a good team this year. It's not through lack of effort. It's not through lack of trying. We have to grow the program up again and get it better in every way.
Kevin, I know that there are a lot of decisions to be made that are out of your hands, but do you get any sense of anxiety coming into today that this might be my last game coaching this team in this building?
No, because again, I'm pretty good about not worrying about things that I don't control, and you know, you tell that to your players, you tell that to your children. you know, it was told to me, it was taught to me, and I don't control how long I coach here. I control how hard I work and what kind of job I try to do while I'm here, and that's all I can do. Those are my controllables. The others aren't controllables to me, so I don't spend a lot of time thinking about them.
You know, we've spoken with you throughout this season, Kevin, about, you know, how you feel like your guys are playing with effort and some of it's continued even as the losses have mounted. Have you noticed your guys, even just from your vantage point, does it feel like they've gotten sort of progressively more disheartened maybe as the season's gone on with each
Oh,
loss?
I think there's, yeah, sure they've gotten disheartened. And understandably so, and to their credit, it hasn't kept them from coming out and practicing hard and working hard and being coachable and trying to improve and get better. But yeah, to have the season we've had is disheartening. I mean, it's disheartening for all of us. Anybody that cares about the program is disheartening. So yeah, but I think that their response to it has been very admirable, and I really respect them for how they've gone about it and how they've handled it.
Last question.
I know that you feel that the team can make significant strides in the offseason and next season, but what gives you that kind of confidence?
Well, adding players to the mix that are experienced and have a proven track record of being able to have success on the court. Adding other guys to the team that provide some elements that we might not necessarily possess right now. And I think that when you can add some experience and some quality experience, I think that what ends up happening is the guys that are out there, Parker Stewart and Cam Davis and Shamil Stevenson, they all benefited when Ryan was playing, for instance. The game was easier for them because Ryan Luther was on the court. And so we have some guys that make the game easier for these guys that are getting all these minutes right now and all this experience. And so, you've got to believe that Terrell Brown will be a significantly improved player next year. He's certainly significantly better than he was to start the season. And you could go down the list and say that about a number of guys. So you've got a bunch of guys getting minutes this year that if the program were in the kind of shape that we desire for it to be in, they wouldn't be getting these kind of minutes. They wouldn't. You don't want to have 3 or 4 freshmen starting games. They'd be coming off the bench, and Cam Davis would be playing 10 or 12 minutes a game behind a junior or a senior and working his way up to where he could play a 26 or 28 a game guy. Well, that's not the situation we're in. So, but back to your question, just adding guys that immediately make us better because they're more experienced and in some cases more talented.
Jerry, what was the feeling after that first half, scoring 7 points? What were you guys saying in the locker room to each other?
Just to pick up the intensity, play a little harder, with a little more confidence. Just focus on kind of trying to pick up the pace a little bit. I think we were really stagnant. We were moving the ball, but we were just standing still. So in the second half, that's what we tried to come out and try to pick up the pace a little bit. So that's what we talked about.
Can it kind of snowball a little bit? I mean, like you said, it's tough. You guys are moving around. Is it just kind of them kind of imposing their will a little bit?
No, it was stuff we were trying to execute on offense, and once we saw that their defense was kind of set up for that, we just tried to change up the pace a little bit, like I said.
How are they set up for it?
Just playing that pack line defense, they run help a lot. So when you're standing still, you got a team that's playing help defense. Driving lanes aren't going to be open as much. Shooters aren't going to be open as much. So
with you guys now having seen them in person as opposed to just on film, what is the most difficult or the trickiest aspect of playing that kind of a defense?
There's actually a couple of teams that play defense the way they do, just not at the same level. Their coach does a great job. The players do a great job just being, working at that system on defense, and those players, along with the coach, and they just do a good job out there. So I think it's more, the guys that they have that are dedicated and skilled enough to execute it. So.
Just regarding all the things going on in college basketball, it's really sad, and it's so hard to know what's true, what's not, and I think ultimately from this, I'm hopeful that the truth will come out and it'll be in the long run better for college basketball. Virginia's name was mentioned in something and had nothing to do with recruiting. It was something with Malcolm Brogdon's mother, who I've known for 8 years, and she has maybe the most integrity and is one of the kindest, thorough ladies that I know. She made a statement, and this is a non-story. I absolutely believe her, and I just want to make it clear that that's it on that. We're trying to get this thing going and keep going. It's a special day for us to win our outright ACC championship, but I do want to acknowledge it's so hard to know what's going on and what's actually true and not. And I think it's wise to not even make too many comments or go into detail, but I hope in the long run the truth does come out, and college basketball will be in a stronger place eventually, and it has to. With that, I think we'll leave it at that and then move on to questions about the game or our players or anything else.
Okay, we'll start in front with Jeff.
You've talked a lot about how everyone on the team has a role, some bigger than others on the court, but is it nice on a day when you clinch the championship for everybody to be able to play like that?
It was. We got off to a good start. I know they played some of their seniors, and we got off to a good start, and we tried to not let up in any way and play as hard as we could defensively, and just get good shots. And we were fortunate enough to, be able to get some guys who work really hard in practice. How hard are guys like Jay Huff and Marco work and have not gotten hardly any court time lately because we've been in so many close or possession type of games. So great to see them, and of course the guys like Trey and Justice and Austin. But even Nigel got some more extended minutes, and Mamadi. I think those things were important. And again, just to execute, try to do the things that we do.
Okay, Doug, then Sam.
What are you thinking when you see walk off and see the halftime score 30-7? Do you remember ever holding a team to 7 points in the first half?
Yeah, that's I've been on the other side of that, maybe 9 or 10 or 12, whatever, and that's a hard feeling. I know how I have the utmost respect for Kevin Stallings. I think he's got such a bright mind and he's such a good coach. I've coached against him when he was at Vanderbilt, and he's so good, and they're so young and they've had some things happen, and so there's certainly have to feel compassion, but you're in the heat of the game, and we were trying to be as focused as we can, and they actually missed some shots. I was surprised with they had only 1 field goal made in that first half. They just missed some point blank ones, and I think their inexperience and youth showed up, and for the most part we were in position, but I thought we tried to play it the right way, and I don't. It's a strange feeling, yeah. So I don't think that may be the lowest, but I thought our guys responded the right way and respected them and respected the game.
Sam, then Norm.
I'm curious, what have you kind of seen from Jay in the past maybe a month or two now, and what did you see from him today? Did you like kind of the way he was working in the offense?
I thought offensively he made a couple nice moves. You can see he's very skilled and gifted, good in the post, can shoot it, and been working really hard in practice. And so, I liked what I saw. Those guys that haven't played that much, you get out there and it's a little fast and things kind of come at you. So, communication, little fine tuning things. But Jay, I've said this so many times. It's my hope with him is as he continues to get stronger and improve. It's not a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when, because he has the offensive skill set. Good hands, can finish, touch, moves, and he's just got to continue to add strength and some more explosiveness and experience. So that was a good thing for him today, and he's been working really hard in practice and has one of the best attitudes I've ever been around. He's all about the team, but is competitive. So hopefully this will be a good step for him, and I like the moments or the glimpses that I saw.
Okay, Norm and then Gene.
We saw Kyle come off and get, I think, his lower back worked on by Ethan on the side. I don't think he came back. Could he have if you
I believe yes. No, I was told by Ethan if you want to put him in, you can. And I thought if we're okay, it's experience for the other guys, and I would rather be safe than sorry in that case. And so it was one of those where I looked at him. He said, "I'm ready to go." So I don't know if he hit the ground. I'm not sure. I actually have to still speak with Ethan about all of that.
Gene, and then we'll take one in the back.
Tony, how do you kind of handle the rest of the regular season, having wrapped up everything in the conference in terms of playing time and rotations and that kind of stuff? Anything change at all? Or?
Not at all. Keep playing to the best of our abilities. I try to improve, try to prepare the right way, and play to win. I said we can't get more complicated than that. And it's today. It was kind of we got the 1 seed last game. I said it's almost you're not starting over, but let's push. Let's be as good as we can and try to peak. But that's very, very excited for those guys that have been in this program to win an outright one today. So no small feat.
Okay, take one in the back.
Yeah, Tony, you kind of just mentioned it right there, but Wednesday y'all claimed a share or clinched a share of it, but today just the outright title. How is that a different feeling?
Yeah, I guess I've been fortunate enough to be part of some good teams that have they all been outrights?
Your 3 have. Yes.
Okay, 3 in the last 5 years have all been outright. So, I remember the first time when we beat Syracuse at our place. It was the last game, and that was a unique feeling, and we got to cut down the nets and do that in front of our crowd. So it certainly felt good. It was important to get the 1 seed and clinch it, and then I think it's always better to be outright than share it. So I think it's a good feeling that got even better today.
Jeff, then Doug.
Nigel had some games like that offensively before his suspension. This is the first time he's really looked in his rhythm offensively since then. Did those 3 games away kind of set him back?
Well, I just think he got some more experience, hit some shots, and I think that was, I thought he did a good job, and he, maybe he was a little rusty from his 3-game suspension, but I thought today he gave us a lift. We've been pushing hard in practice and challenging him, and this team needs, he has some quickness that he can add to the equation to touch the paint, and if he can stick some shots and heat up the ball, those are important things for us.
Okay. Doug.
Oh, yeah. Whitney Mitchell's calling, whoever's phone that is. So.
That's really embarrassing.
No, I'm just kidding. It's all right. Tell her I said hello. No, just kidding. All right.
DeAndre Hunter looked very engaged today. 14 points, 10 rebounds. Talk about his performance.
Am I supposed to comment on that or not? It's an inside joke. No, DeAndre was engaged, as Kyle was last game. That was Doug's joke. But he was. And that was a challenge for everybody to be, and that's a great word. It really was engaged or with a heightened sense of focus. And, DeAndre, he's been having a really good year, and we play him some at the 3, some at the 4. He's aggressive, and he provides that versatility on offense, stretching it, driving, posting, and then certainly defensively allows us to do some things.
Okay. Any other questions for Coach Bennett? Norm.
A follow-up on DeAndre. When you sort of have a guy like that who grows into that 6-man role, and he seemed like he did right away, are you able to sort of envision that before the season? This might be a good role for him, or does a guy kind of have to grow into that?
I think he grows into it. Yeah, we were playing him primarily just on the perimeter, and then I think it was the Virginia Tech game where we got some foul trouble, and I think even leading up we said we need to go with 4 guards, use him some as a 4, and just let him guard some of those. And he took to it so well, and then that gave us that versatility. And after that game, I was really encouraged for him and for our ball club, because that again provides some things that are important. But he certainly has grown into it. He sat out last year, and I think not having played a year of college basketball, redshirt year, there is a feeling out process, a timing. It's different than maybe a guy who's played already a year of college ball. So I think that was all part of his process. But you get confident and aggressive, and you see his abilities showing.